Welcome back. We've reached the cross-examination of Phoenix Wright, and we're gonna get right back into it. But remember, if you have any questions about the development of the case, then just leave it in the comments section, and let's get back into it. We were playing a game of poker when Van Cleef got mad. He stood up and knocked the candle over. It was dark, but I'm not sure. I think he hit her. After that, it's all fuzzy.
This seems to line up with what we discovered from Mr. O'Reilly.
And yet it offers us nothing new. It's a monumental waste of time. Then again, that's your staple weapon, isn't it? Your Honor, we're so close to the truth I can almost taste it. Give me the chance to cross-examine Mr. Wright. He's so close to remembering.
Please proceed, Miss Sykes. Mr. Justice, I remind you to keep your personal feelings about the defendant out of this. Though I must say, he has a point. The defense needs to offer some evidence, and soon.
Thank you, Your Honor. You won't regret this. Might have already spotted the contradiction, because it is a fairly obvious one. You might not necessarily figure out why, but we're going to press everything anyway, because I want to see as much of the dialogue as possible. And I know the answers anyway, so we will be spending time figuring it out, unless I forget. Do you remember what he got mad about? I'm not sure. His drinks, maybe? That's right. Sounds like it's starting to come back to you now. I think so. Slowly but surely, anyway.
What happened next?
He must have been really mad, huh? He was, yeah. Big, tough, mean-looking guy. He was probably something like 6'5".
That sounds right. A heck of a lot taller than me.
I wonder how tall the judge is anyway. I can worry about that one later. What else can you remember? Dark because the candle went out? I'm guessing that's the case. Yep. Kind of a pointless thing to press, huh? Whether that's ever stopped you, Apollo. Just keep testifying, please. You think? Or you know? I wish it could be more clear with you. It's tough to get it right. Speaking of, something here doesn't seem right. Maybe I can point that out?
Can you tell us anything else, Mr. Wright?
I know it's tough, Mr. Wright. Just hang in there. I'm doing my best to place it all together. I just wish I could tell you what really happened in there. This is it, Dina. I think we've come to the end. Looks like it. Are you going to do any more therapy? No, not directly. All he's feeling now is fear, and I think we need to find the truth to help that subside. To do that, I need to start poking holes in his recollection. I think he hit her. Her. Who's he talking about there? Because as you can see, doesn't add up. Mr. Wright, I think you're misremembering something. Am I? There were 3 people in that room. You, the victim, and O'Reilly. You'll notice a distinct lack of les femmes. Les femmes. I don't know how you pronounce that. Les femmes, maybe?
Oh, I hadn't even noticed.
Wright said the victim attacked her.
Objection!
Before you even suggest it, Miss Sykes, remember that it's impossible for a third party to get into that room. If you intend to suggest that the real killer is a woman, then you need evidence. He's right. I need to be able to prove it if there was a woman in that room, but I don't think I can do that. Maybe there's another reason for his mistake.
Well, Miss Sykes, can you offer a reason for Mr. Wright saying the victim attacked her?
Here's why I think Mr. Wright said the victim attacked her. Your Honor, I've had a theory about Mr. Wright's amnesia for a while.
What is it?
As has come up many times so far, Mr. Wright faced a murder trial about a year and a half ago. One thing is notable, how similar that case was to this one.
You know, now that you mention it, I do seem to recall some key similarities.
Exactly, Your Honor. I think a major part of Mr. Wright's amnesia are flashbacks. You think he's reliving the experience from the past trial? I do. Earlier in the lobby, Trucy told me something. But the victim, my other daddy, he attacked the witness in Daddy's last trial too. I'm willing to wager that the witness attacked in the last trial was a woman. You're right.
So Mr. Wright is having flashbacks to that last trial?
Yes, Your Honor. He's experiencing a trauma response. It's why he keeps getting the two stories confused. Mr. Wright, you have to listen to me. That trial is over. You're going to be okay, Mr. Wright. Apollo may be on the wrong side, but you've got me and Trucy on the case. Please, Mr. Wright, do everything in your power to remember what really happened. There was a shattering sound. A shattering sound, then a scream. Yes, I'm sure of it. That was definitely last night. A shattering sound. That could be the victim smashing the bottle on O'Reilly's head.
Objection!
You have no proof, Miss Sykes. Your evidence is purely circumstantial.
Well, I'm sympathetic to your cause, Miss Sykes. That doesn't explain how the victim fell. If you can't offer an explanation as to the fall that caused the heart attack, then all you have is conjecture.
Damn it! I'm so close. I have to be. Either way, I want that statement added to the testimony.
I'll allow that. Witness?
Yeah? That was a shattering sound, and then after that, a scream. I knew that shattering sound had to be the bottle, but if it was dark, I just can't prove it.
Well, Miss Sykes.
All that leaves is the scream. Could that be the key? What can you tell us about the scream, Mr. Wright? It was a man's scream. Well, that's a given. Who was it that screamed? There's only a handful of options. Which man was it?
Do you have something to suggest, Miss Sykes?
Yes, Your Honor. I think this was the person who screamed. Eh? No. It is the victim. There's only one person that could have screamed.
Who?
Well, we can rule out Mr. Wright, because he would know if he was the one who screamed. O'Reilly seems like the obvious choice, but if the victim really hit him with the bottle, then after the shattering, he was unconscious. That leaves only one person. The victim!
Objection!
I disagree. Again, you have no proof that the shattering was the victim striking Mr. O'Reilly with the bottle. In my view, the logical choice is that Wright heard O'Reilly scream when he was attacked. Unless you have evidence to offer otherwise, then you have nothing.
Miss Sykes, we're going in circles. I'm afraid I can't let you go any further without evidence. Do you have evidence that the victim was the one who smashed the bottle? Do you have evidence of another external factor that caused the victim's fall and heart attack? If you do not, then this trial is over.
What am I supposed to say? I don't have any evidence. No. Evidence. Nothing. I can't. Oh no. I'm freezing again. Not good enough.
It seems we've reached the end of this cross-examination. You've put up an admirable fight, defense, but I'm afraid you've run out of arguments to present.
Evidence is everything, Miss Sykes. And you have none. I'm sorry, Athena. Not even I could turn this one around. Or about. Frozen. In time. Each of us makes a million choices per day. Every single one can change the world. I don't know how I got here. How the wheels of fate left me here, right now. But there's no sense mourning the past. This moment, today. It'll only ever happen once. Something went wrong to bring me here. But I'm here now. I'm a defense attorney. I'm the only hope to bring things back to normal. The future. It's in my hands, isn't it? Wrong or right, it's up to me. I feel a presence within me. Something deep down in my soul. Gentle but fierce. And whatever it is, it's telling me that this is my destiny. There's only one way to change the future. I've got to keep fighting.
Objection!
Time to change the future. Your Honor. Focus, Athena. Still your heart. The trial will not end yet. Not as long as you keep fighting. You must believe in yourself first. My heart. It's quiet again. This trial's not over. Because I'm going to prove Mr. Wright's innocence.
But how, Miss Sykes? You have no evidence.
She's bluffing, Your Honor. Just like Phoenix Wright. The trial is over, Your Honor. I've seen these tactics time and time again. Circling around and around and around until luck comes to save you. But eventually, your luck runs out. I'm so proud of you, Athena. Apollo may have given in to the cynicism, but that doesn't mean we have to, too. It's time to do what all good lawyers do. Turn your thinking around. If you turn our thinking around so many times, it's eventually going to end up facing the same way again. Everything seems to say it's an impossible case. A locked room, and no way in. I've only got a bit of new information from Mr. Wright, but Apollo has to be wrong. He has to be wrong, because he knows he's wrong. Because in his voice, I can hear his doubts. It's time to prove you wrong, Apollo Justice. We get the thought root. These I really like these, even in the main series. But I hope you like the one we have here. If you've already seen it, you might remember this. There's a pretty memorable moment. There's one big question that's been lingering over this entire trial. Who killed Van Cleef? We know something causes heart attacks, so someone is responsible, but who? Who killed Walter Van Cleef? The only explanation that makes sense is that the killer is someone who we haven't heard from today. But that begs the question, where were they? Everything seemed so airtight at the club that day. Where was the killer located? Someone else and somewhere else. The killer must not have been in the club. I know it sounds ridiculous, but there's just no way the real killer could have been anywhere in the club. But then, how'd the real couple kill the victim then? If the killer wasn't in the club, they must have killed the victim indirectly, but how? All I can think of is that the killer must have influenced someone. They could change someone's behaviour. They could indirectly cause the victim's death. Whose behaviour did the real killer influence? This guy. Not to kill the victim's behaviour had to be influenced. Think, Athena, think. What was notable about the victim's behaviour, and how could the killer have caused it? What did the killer do to influence Van Cleef's behaviour? Aha! Swap stickers! We never did explain the swap stickers, and that influenced the victim's emotions in a big way. Which emotion was the killer trying to make the victim feel? I think you can pretty much guess this at this point. Yep. The killer wanted to make him angry. That must have been part of the killer's plan. Just getting his blood pressure up wouldn't cause a heart attack. Thinking about it now, it's Athena Sykes as a psychologist, and her first case is a killer who was also using psychology. Well, I've not thought about that before, but that works very well, in my opinion. But just getting his blood pressure up wouldn't cause a heart attack. What else did the killer have to do to ensure the plan killed the victim? There was one piece of evidence that was never really explained. The victim didn't have his heart medication. Medication that could have saved his life. If the killer made him get angry but had already stolen the heart medicine, then that would be a way of ensuring he died, indirectly killing him. An emotion murder. Which leaves one last thing. Evidence. If the victim's heart attack was caused by his anger, not his fall, then our thinking is backwards. One piece of evidence. It has to be wrong. This piece of evidence is wrong, and that will prove my theory. The autopsy report is outdated. Yeah. I mean, even if people think it might ruin the moment, it is worth it just for that. And to be clear, I did write this part. The autopsy report is outdated joke. I'll take all the credit for that because this is from what people have said anyways, one of the most memorable moments of the case. I think someone said it was one of the best thought routes they'd ever played, so I'll take that in stride. But yeah, the autopsy report is outdated. The autopsy report is outdated. Your Honour.
Yes, Miss Sykes?
I've got it. The one piece of evidence I need to prove Mr. Wright's innocence, it's been right there in front of us all along.
Miss Sykes, go on.
Gladly, Your Honour. Allow me to explain exactly how the crime occurred. There was a third party. That's ridiculous. We've already established that there was no way for a third party to be there. There was no way for a third party to be there on the day of the crime. Huh? There's one piece of evidence that required a third party to be involved. The coffee machine stickers. We know someone must have switched them, and they must have done it on a different day.
But we've We've been over this, Miss Sykes. Sure, there's a
way a third party could have switched the stickers.
Why does it matter?
Well, recall what the switched coffee stickers did to the victim.
It made him angry, right?
Oui, monsieur. And when you get really angry, your blood pressure goes up. The victim's heart condition. If the killer knew the victim, they'd know he had an affinity for anger. And if they knew he had a heart condition, they could steal his heart medicine. After all, we've yet to have an explanation for the missing medicine. But evidence? You have no evidence. Au contraire, mon ami. The problem is that our thinking has been backwards. We all assume the heart attack was caused by the fall, but what if we've got it reversed? Dina, you genius. But that would mean the autopsy report is outdated. Think about it, Johan. We've all just been assuming the fall came before the heart attack. But how could we know that? Think back to what Emma told us in the first testimony. The medical examiner deemed this case a homicide. He believed the blunt force trauma to the head caused the heart attack. And he concluded that the fall was caused by an external factor. The medical examiner believed the fall caused the heart attack. But what if he was wrong? What if the external factor that caused the victim to fall was the heart attack itself?
That would disprove the claim that the only possible external factor was the defendant.
My point exactly, Your Honour. I'll admit I can't prove my theory of the murder for sure. It's a bit of a stretch, but that's not my job. All I have to do is disprove the prosecution's case. And if a second autopsy confirms with certainty about the order of the fall and heart attack, then there's a reasonable doubt about Mr. Wright's alleged attack causing the fall in the first place. If it's possible the heart attack preceded the fall, meaning it was the real cause, then your case is toast, Apollo Justice. I'm not fine. We've contacted the second medical examiner to review the case. Just as Athena says, this expert's conclusion is that the order of the fall and heart attack cannot be confirmed. That is to say, it's entirely possible the heart attack was the external factor that caused the fall. In that case, as a detective, I can no longer claim the defendant was the only reasonable cause. Looks like your well done steak, Mr. Justice.
Ooh. Well, this new evidence changes things substantially. With the new autopsy showing no certainty in the order of events, the prosecution no longer has a plausible case against the defendant. If the heart attack could have been before the fall, there's no reason to believe the defendant attacked him and caused the fall and heart attack. With reasonable doubt established, I see no basis on which to convict Mr. Wright of manslaughter. Unless you have any more evidence, Mr. Justice.
The prosecution has no more evidence, Your Honor.
Right then. Well, it's a shame we weren't able to catch the real culprit if Miss Sykes is indeed correct. That is a matter for the police to take from here. The trial of Phoenix Wright is finished.
I did it.
You have done remarkably well today for a rookie, Miss Sykes. You've done your boss proud.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anyway, this court finds the defendant, Phoenix Wright, not guilty. Let's go. Confetti time. The court is adjourned.
So yeah, that's how this case ends. No killer discovered. And we weren't sure at first, when we were first making this and planning it, whether or not we would have a killer confrontation, as is typical of ace attorney cases. At the end, obviously we ultimately decided not to have that to keep it intriguing. I think we did. I think you know. I mean, we made. I mean, I was one of the ones who made it, but I think we did a pretty good job. So, on sort of making a nice, compact sort of case that leaves things open for interpretation and obviously open for a sequel. And obviously, we did do a sequel, and we're planning on doing more. But yeah, let's finish this off. Dina, Trucy, bear hug squeezing tight. Sorry, Trucy. I'm just so excited. I'm so proud of you. Your first real case and you turned it around. I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. I saw how you and Mr. Wright were depending on me. I decided I wasn't going to give up until I proved his innocence. Hey there, Athena.
Boss.
If I can call you that. I'd have to be a real stick in the mud not to hire you after that. That was one heck of a turnabout. I know. Athena Sykes, ace attorney. I really didn't think I was going to be able to do it, but then when I proved I really was lying and he got an attack, and they're actually not there in the past. I don't know for sure if my theory is correct, but it's on the autopsy. I was there, remember? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry I could be more helpful. Though it turned out you didn't even need me to remember anything. Yeah, I understand how hard this has been for you. I won't hold it against you. I wonder though, do you think my theory about the real killer is correct? I mean, I wasn't able to prove it for sure. I'm not sure. The Chief Justice certainly had his share of enemies. I can only imagine that he'd be a target for something like this. It's true. And it has to be someone who knew him personally. Honestly, who knows? No sense worrying about that now. It's time to get lunch and ice cream. Sounds like a plan.
Objection!
Apollo Justice. Trucy, right, Miss Sykes? You were wrong, you know. Your whole evidence is everything shtick is a load of crap. Closest you can get to swearing in ace turning line without getting into some trouble. I'm glad to see that Wright is innocent. All we did was follow the evidence to its conclusion. The truth was revealed, right? Until it almost wasn't Apollo. If it wasn't for Athena here, I'd be on a bus to the state penitentiary. You may have been found innocent, right? But I won't forget your crime. Apollo, your voice has been aching with rage all day long. Why? Why is Apollo so angry? I want to bet a big part of his anger is the forging allegation. This bloody ace. He must really believe that Mr. Wright is guilty of forging. But I don't think that's all. Something else is causing all that rage. I just know it. Why is Apollo so angry? I guess it's the Misham trial. He's angry at Wright. He's angry at Mr. Wright. He feels like they failed. Part of his hatred of Mr. Wright is his self-hatred. There's a lot of anger and hatred in your heart, Apollo. Deep down inside, you're lonely. I get the feeling this won't be the last time we meet one another. Oh, you better believe it. And I'm not going to give up on you. Right, I know the truth. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, nothing can change the facts. That day we first met, a year and a half ago, that was the day that led us here. That's not true. Things could have been different. If there are... There's no ifs about it, Trucy. The past is behind us now. What is left to do is look to the future. Just know this, right? I will never allow you to be reinstated as an attorney. You're welcome back in the office anytime, Apollo. Emma? I have news. Christoph Gavin was murdered in his cell about 20 minutes ago. What? It's another impossible case. We have no idea how a potential killer could have gotten inside. Another locked room. But there's something strange. There was one thing out of place in the cell. A single inverted ace. What? How would a weird card like that end up in a jail cell? Here's the bizarre thing. In our final sweep of the crime scene at Club Poker, we found one just like it amongst the deck of cards. That sounds like a serial killer. That's our running theory, yes. The Chief Justice, framing Phoenix Wright, killing Christoph Gavin, all of these events may be more connected than they seem. I wish I had time to stay in chat, but we've got to go, Apollo. Let's get going. And by the way, congrats, Athena. I'm glad you proved Mr. Wright's innocence. Thank you, Emma. Sounds like we've got a lot of work to do, Dana Sykes. Yes, boss. Let's do this. Looks like ice cream will have to wait for another day. Because the Write Anything agency is on the case. So, there you go. That was my first case. We found a lot of answers, but we were left with a lot of questions. A lot more questions. The inverted ace. Something tells me this goes a lot deeper than any of us thought. Maybe my theory is the real killer was right after me. Anyway, Mr. Wright's memories slowly started to come back. It turns out the Chief Justice was trying to blackmail him. At the risk of disparaging the dead, he was kind of a scummy guy. Anyway, that's where my story begins. Athena Sykes, Write Anything Agency. I know there'll be many battles to come. So many questions left unanswered. That presence I felt today, when everything seemed lost. Now, I'm on a mission. Apollo Justice, I'm going to save you. The end of Ace of Turnabouts. We've did it. We've done it. Even. So yeah, the decision to leave the Christoph's death set up, this was done before we were 100% on making a sequel. But, I mean, we already knew where we wanted to go with it, with Christoph's death. You'll see in Web of Turnabouts. Actually, Web of Turnabouts started off a lot differently when I was first planning it, at least. Went through a lot of changes in the course of development. A lot of additions, a lot of change. Even late in development, we were making some quite big changes. But yeah, this was, as I said before, Ace of Turnabouts was made in 3 months. We made it for the case competition, and on its own, it's pretty nice case. But obviously, if you've played it and you liked it enough to where you were invested in the plot, your biggest question is who done it, as in all Ace Attorney cases, and that will be what will be revealed as we go through the series. Let's mute this up so we can as we go through the series, and next time we'll be starting Web of Turnabouts, which is as of now the most recent case that we've put out in the series. So only 2 so far, and that case released a few months ago. And actually, it's just up for what's called a QA review right now, which basically means one of the moderators of the Ace Attorney Online website, that being Enthalpy, will review the case and decide whether or not it will be featured as Ace of Turnabouts is. I'm expecting that we're probably going to make a lot of edits and changes to it. So until that's done with, I think I'm gonna wait and then come back to it if and when it gets featured, when all of the edits that we might have to potentially make are over with at the very least. So for now, I'd like to say goodbye and thanks for watching.